Hey guys, Sierra Bailey here with Accel Commercial Real Estate. The video you're watching ties into our event in June, Accelerate. If you want to learn more about what you see today, scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description to get your tickets now before early bird pricing runs out. Enjoy the video.
So Brian Truman has had a really interesting journey toward real estate. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit about his hero origin story, if you will, and what possessed him to get involved in real estate. And partly, in order for me to be able to do that, I'm just going to tell you a little, just really briefly, mine, so that you can kind of see where we intertwine. And so I actually, my first career was as I have a degree in graphic design and a degree in marketing and advertising. And I did that for 17 years and was an art director. And then I had a friend talk me into becoming a commercial real estate appraiser, because those things go really well together traditionally. And he thought I was really analytical, and he thought that might be something, he thought I was in the wrong profession. And I thought I won't go into all the reasons why I agreed to do it, but it was a gift. I already had a background in zoning and involvement in the community, and I became a commercial real estate appraiser. And then I'm going to let Brian tell his story, because where then we start to interconnect, and as we go from there, and you'll see how we are intertwined and why that can actually end up being such a great benefit for our clients. So tell us about your first career. What was your very first job in college?
So my first job out of college, and this may help a lot of people that are online, and clients that I deal with on a daily basis really don't know, because I really don't per se talk about this. But my first job out of college was a sports broadcaster. So I worked for went through communications department, and then came out as a sports broadcaster and went to work for the NBC network in Salt Lake City. Normally when you come out of college, you go to like Bismarck, North Dakota, or Fargo, or somewhere like that, right? I was lucky enough to get on with the NBC network in Salt Lake City, and my main job was to cover the Utah Jazz. So this is back when John Stockton, Karl Malone, Mark Eaton, a lot of those guys. So I did that for first about 3 years, and in that job, the glamour part of it was I got to interview, everybody that was somebody back in those days, meaning like the Michael Jordans and the Larry Birds and the Magic Johnsons and Charles Barkley and a lot of those guys, right? So that's the glamour part of that job. They don't tell you all the rest of it. Anyway, that was my first career actually out of college, and then I kind of saw the shark, if you want to call it, the shark business,
The underbelly
of broadcasting. It's not what it looks like on TV.
Not
right?
family concentric per se.
So,
And he at that point was married to me, and we decided we wanted to have a family, and him working all hours of the day and night, and mostly on the weekends. It not only did it not pay very well, but he was gone all the time, and the stress was terrible. So he switched, fortunately for us,
yeah.
and got into corporate America, and ended up becoming very well known in his field.
Spent 22 years in corporate America, so doing sales management, and traveling the country, from that standpoint. And then from there, I decided to get out of corporate America, and this kind of leads into the whole generational wealth process. And I've got in and started a business brokerage. So, basically it's much like real estate, but you're helping people buy and sell their businesses. And so, from there, that's when I really, kind of got in and said, you know what, we can really do a lot of good in helping, folks who want to transition out and of maybe owning a business and putting that money into, real estate, right, at that time. And I had a little bit of background on the whole zoning real estate piece, because another part of my background is I spent 8 years as a city councilman. So, understanding all the zoning laws, all of that came in real handy when we got into, or when I got into real estate, from that. So, but it just helped on the business brokerage to help people transition that wealth, move it into commercial real estate, and build that so that they can hand that money down from generation to generation. One of the things I really kind of wanted to emphasize this evening, because I have a lot of people that ask me, and clients that I worked with, and even clients that I've known for a while, will ask me, so, I imagine what motivates you, right? And I'll go back and tell this kind of in a story is, we're working with a client now that our company knows very well. When I'm saying the company, Accel Group knows very well. And we were down in Chattanooga, and we had spent all day looking at properties, viewing properties. And I've known this gentleman for, a few years now. And so this goes kind of into the, really understanding your client and kind of who they are and what motivates them. And so we had spent the day looking at properties down in Chattanooga. And so that evening, before we left to come back, he's like, hey, let's go to one of my favorite places down here and have dinner. So we did that, and we were sitting there eating dinner, and he asked this question to me. He said, so Brian, he goes, I've known you for a while. He said, what motivates you most? What excites you most about, commercial real estate and being in real estate? And he said, well, I'm just going to make an assumption and probably say the money. And I said, actually, that is not it.
It's nice.
That's not it. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. But I said, but that is not it. I said, what excites me, what motivates me, and what I enjoy about commercial real estate is taking the folks who may be, they may be first time into buying real estate, right? So they may be, in their mid-20s, 30s, something like that. They get referred to us about, wanting to invest in commercial real estate, right? They may be not young like Nick here. Probably didn't even know I knew that. But, somebody like that that's young, that's just getting into, commercial real estate, right? And taking them, and a lot of times they get referred to us, they will come and they'll say, hey, I've been listening to Uncle G, Grant Cardone, or, whoever it may be on these podcasts that they have been listening to, and they're like, I want to invest, right? And so, I enjoy talking to them and helping them understand what investing in commercial real estate over the years can lead to, right? Not only this generational wealth that we're talking about and passing that money down, but it can help them, basically build a life by design, life that they want. For those of you that are online or here that listen to the very first learning series we did, we had a gentleman named Ryan Stackhouse who spoke, and he kind of talked about his journey to where now, he kind of travels, has been the last 2 or 3 years, basically traveling around the country. But he has done that because of the passive income that he has generated through this commercial real estate. And so for me, whether it's him or others of our clients, like a Brandon Thornberry, for people that are here that know Brandon, right? People like this who are, probably, 40 years old, but they have purchased enough real estate over time that they can kind of, like I say, have a life of by design, right? That now they can travel, they can, whatever it is, right? For
Insert your dream here.
exactly. Now and when I talk about, so that's what excites me, right? When I'm talking to people and working with people, is to help them go, you know what? Here's what you can do through purchasing real estate, over these years. Now, there's not everybody may have discovered real estate at that age, right? They may, be like somebody in this room that just retired from Delta as a pilot. I don't know who I may be talking about, but that maybe discovered it a little later in life, the real estate, but has went through and purchased, a number of properties and is kind of building this generation, right? That is giving them, the opportunity to have this passive income to live the life that they want, right? So, and it makes a lot of us that might have got a little later start jealous to see some of these people that,
Do it when they're young.
doing it when they're young and, get started and that, but that's, and so it was interesting having this discussion with this gentleman because he was like, he goes, that's interesting. And I kind of used to him is because this gentleman has invested in multifamily, but he also has some industrial properties and so forth. And while he knows that product very well, the multifamily, I said to him, I said, you know what? You're asking me what excites me. I said, so I know what excites you and what motivates you most, even though you know the multifamily segment inside and out, and it does very well for you. I know that's not what motivates you. It's buying these properties that may be an industrial property that can do have adaptive use, or as we kind of say, has hair on the deal, or really has a fur coat on the deal, and wants to work with that and help create this, this adaptive use and so forth. That's what, for this gentleman, we've known him long enough as a client to know that's what motivates him. That's what really drives him, right? And so for me, I just get that question so often about what motivates you, right? And that is what motivates me, is helping people, invest in commercial real estate, diversify, and build basically that passive income that can then help them, build this life by design, right? And to kind of do what they want to do. So for those out there that may, kind of have worked with me and kind of understanding, that's what, you can tell when I get talking, that's what kind of excites me, is that, I love a lot of those first time, buyers. We have quite a few of them that it's their first time, and a lot of the questions we get to on that is, so, okay, this is my first time investing into a commercial real estate property, or what they call what they say multifamily, and okay, I'm going to buy a duplex, right? So that's kind of it. I'm going to buy this duplex. My question to a lot of them is, how much or how many units can you afford, right? Because a lot of them think that, well, no, I need to start with just this duplex or this triplex or quad. My question is can you afford more? And a lot of them are like,
So
yeah.
why is that?
Like, yeah, but I don't understand. So my question, I say to them, if you can afford 20, buy 20, 20 unit. If you can do 10, do 10. You don't have to just start out with a duplex and that's it, right? And, the question is, and we have a property manager here in the audience, and he can speak more to this than per se I can, but, it costs as much to manage a duplex as basically as it does to, have 20 units, right? And you can spread out your risk over 20 units instead of just having 2 units, right? So, that's a big reason why, to me, I'm like, buy what you can afford. If you can afford 20 units, go 20 units.
And does it have to be
So-
multifamily or can it be anything? Can it be other?
It can be others, it can be, it can be buying a Dollar General, what we call mailbox money, right? Which is a triple net product. And, so they get to purchase the Dollar General and then they just collect the check every month because the tenant is paying all the expenses. So taxes, insurance, things like that, right? So it can be, it can be doing a single tenant, triple net, it can be industrial, it can be office, it can be retail, any of them, right? And that's the beauty of helping people diversify their portfolio.
Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you see, be sure to follow our Generational Wealth Learning series. On select Thursdays, we offer cutting-edge industry information that would normally cost thousands of dollars. And the best part, our education is absolutely free. If you register through our events page, you can join us live, either in person or over Zoom. In the meantime, like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a beat.